What up, everybody? Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Alliance Quarantine. We are now on our 4th vlog. It's amazing how time flies when you're not allowed to go anywhere. Okay, right off the bat, you guys know the drill. This vlog is brought to you by the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game on Nintendo GameCube.
Lift it higher. Cover your face with it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay. We are gonna go ahead and check in with our weather correspondent to see what it's like out there.
Hey Nick, the pollen count seems kind of high today. You know what they call this? Nature's dessert.
Thank you, Jeff. Little throwback Wednesday for you, if you don't mind. Back to when Riley Pittman thought it was a good idea to launch his body from the stage onto a 6-foot bouncy ball. Oh! Ouch. Some say he still can't walk. In other news, we are going to check in to see what some of you guys have been up to.
During this period of isolation, I've got to work on my trick shot, so I'll show you one right here.
Oh!
This is it's actually right over there, home to a native cougar. You know, they say that on a rare day you can, right there, fish. So that's pretty cool.
Quick shout out to Tyler and Haven Newkirk. I was in Fred Meyer the other day and I saw both of them and it was so cool to see their lovely faces. But it sucked because I wasn't able to hug them and I wanted to just absolutely squeeze the life out of them. But that would have been bad because I would have gone to prison. And then nobody wins. Last week we got 8 different people to participate in the challenge. That is exactly what happened. All right, guys, next on the agenda today is we have something that's Do you guys hear that? I think you know what that means. We have some mail!
Flip open the mail, there's a box with our name. I hope that it's a toy or a fun board game. Maybe it's a cat or something better. Come on, you guys, let's open it together.
All right, guys, looks like we got a letter, anonymous. Let's open it up and see what's inside. It's a video file. Let's see what it is. Well, that was disturbing. Can you find out who sent that, please? Thank you. You know what I really wanted is I wanted this talk to be sort of like a Thanksgiving talk, finding a way to be thankful in the midst of all this darkness. But I'm really not interested in there being a challenge at the end of this talk where I say to you guys, hey, fill out a what you're thankful for card, and every single person fills out the same thing. I'm not interested in you guys thinking about thankfulness for 3 minutes today. What I am interested in is you guys coming to the unshakable realization that you need Jesus more than you have ever in your lives. I'm interested in you guys staring blankly into nothing, quiet, immobilized, and barely praying out loud. I'm in. I'm not interested in you knowing what being thankful is, rather in you knowing Jesus. Because in you knowing Jesus, you know joy. And once you know joy, being thankful isn't an activity that you participate in every single time your youth pastor screams at you, but something that is written on your heart. And most of all, I'm interested in you guys understanding. Because at the end of the day, there's a huge difference in you simply seeing He knows your name written on the wall and understanding what that actually means. From the moment you were born, you have been taught about what is life-giving, what is important in life. The world, in all of its great influence, has directed you into believing what it is that you need, what it is that you require in life. Sports, grades, money, jobs, family, friend groups, sex, partying. These are things that you may believe give you life. Think of them as the vine, for example. Take this plant. It has a vine, a stem, and then it has all these branches that come off of it, right? But the energy, the life source comes from the core, comes from the vine. And oftentimes we are taught that those things that I mentioned earlier is the vine to our life, is what gives us life. But Jesus says different. Let's go! He says that these things are not the vine in your life. So let's listen to what he has to say about this.
John 15 verses 1 through 8. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful.
You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine, neither can you bear fruit unless it remain in me.
I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned.
If you remain in me and my word remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be given to you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be disciples.
Thank you so much to Mia, Colin, Josie, and Cade. That was awesome. You guys are next level. Now, right now, we are going to go over to your very own leader, Brian Olson, and he has a message that he wants to share with us about pruning the dead wood out of our lives and where we should be spending our time.
Greetings from the Olson plantation. Miss you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing the group together again. I've got to turn up. Found out last night my 7-year-old grandson committed his life to Jesus. A little emotional on that one. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit today about pruning. It's one of the things I do around here. We have a couple apple trees, a couple pear trees, grapes, raspberry. Been reading in Matthew a little bit about pruning and kind of hit home this year. I'm out of work temporarily, and so I've been doing a lot more work here. Anyway, the couple of things that we do when we prune is we try to get all the dead wood out and stuff that's nothing's going to grow from it anymore. And I like to challenge you to think about things maybe in your past or things that have happened to you that's dead wood, and the Lord would like to clean that out and give you some space to grow and place for some love and relationships to blossom. Second thing is when we prune, we try to shape the tree, and by doing that, we try to cut limbs off that are laying on each other or that are forked or just going crazy. By pruning those off, it gives everything a chance to grow quicker and better, and usually our fruit yield is about 50% more when we can do that. And that's a challenge too for all our lives, and me included, is that a lot of it's busyness. It's a lot of things that maybe we commit a lot of time to, and maybe not even intentionally, but it kind of clutters up our lives. It's things that now with this COVID-19, that maybe it's a good chance for us to take a look at that, see what things are not necessary, or maybe we have too much of a commitment to them. And they might be good things, but they just might be too cluttered, too many irons in the fire. So pruning maybe in our lives is a good thing for this season. So can't wait to see you guys. Have a good week.
Thank you so much, Brian, for your words and that message, for it applies to us all. John Bloom is an author and an editor for the website Desiring God, and here's what he says regarding this topic. One of the most merciful gifts God can give us is a deep, keen awareness of our dependence on Him for everything. The less we feel our need for Christ, the less we will abide in Him. Every one of us only clings to, abides in, what we really believe gives us life. And that vine is the one we go to most often for what we find most life-giving. For us, that vine must be Christ. I just want you guys to stop for a moment and think to yourself, what is your vine? Is it what people think about you? Is it your good grades, sports, porn, money, drinking, video games? Maybe it's a relationship with someone else. Jesus must be the vine. He is the giver of life and the only constant. Everything else that you idolize will wither away. So what does it look like to find life in Christ? The sooner that we are totally and completely dependent on Him for everything, one of the most important things begins to take shape in our lives. We become more like Him.
That's what I'm talking about.
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. Those are the fruits of the Holy Spirit and the fruits of a life filled with Christ at the vine, at the core. We need Jesus because He is the only vine that can actually give us life. He is the only vine that can forgive us, that can love us to actual death. What do you need to live? What do you need to be victorious in this life? For me, I refuse to find victory in the way that I look. I refuse to find victory in sports. I refuse to find victory in money or status. And I'm not going to find victory in writing 5 things that I'm thankful for on a blank card with a limp hand. My victory comes from Christ alone in my absolute, undying, complete, and desperate need for Him in all areas of my life. My victory is His death on the cross. My victory is Him rising again. And by some miracle, He knows my name. I don't need a card. I need Jesus. And you know what? He's not hidden. He's accessible. He's not some character that you get to unlock after you've been sinless for 5 years. He's available to you right now. But not only that, He's actually after you in pursuit, knocking on your door. So, you gonna open it or what?
Want to put your foot?
All right, guys, this week for the challenge, we're gonna focus on 3 things: read, journal, pursue. Okay, so for read, you're just gonna reread John 15, verses 1 through 8. Now for journal, I have a few questions for you. The first one, what are some examples of dead wood in your life right now? What is something that you are committing to that you could just prune away, that Jesus wants to prune away from your life? Number 2 is similar to number 1, but a little bit different. What are some things that you are committing your time to that are unnecessary and bearing no fruit for you? And now number 3 for your journal is Jesus your vine? And if not, then what needs to change in your life in order for Him to take that spot? Third task is our pursue portion. Commit to something this week. Commit to a change, maybe drop an old habit, commit to something that reflects Christ in your life. If you guys can send proof that you've done those 3 things to this number, then you win a prize. You do it, you win, okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's vlog. We love you, we miss you, and just remember, I don't believe in reincarnation, and I didn't believe in it when I was a hamster.